A shalabaloo ba da ba da boo ba da ba da boo. Put it together and what do you got? Bippity boppity boo. Or something like that. Shalom and good morning, Sarah Hoskins. Welcome everybody to We All Gonna Die Wednesday. Good morning, Bama Buckeye, Crazy Canuck Cat. Good morning, Brian. Hi, Brian. I'm trying to get the chat pulled up on my El Topo del Lapo, which everybody knows is Spanish for laptop, because I am the Oso Independiente, which is Espanol for the Bear Independent. Welcome. Thank you for being here. 102.9 thousand of you all need to get your heads checked, probably by the angry Viking therapist. The most bearded and tattooed mental health channel that I know of. Highly recommended. If you're not subscribed, I question our friendship. You should please be subscribed here as well. Ring the little bell icon. That's how we know that YouTube will lie to you about when we go live, but it at least makes us all feel good about the fact that, yeah, I'm bought in. Yay, YouTube. All right. Subscribe, like, and share. That helps us with our ongoing battle against the YouTube algorithmic robots. Yes, I stole that from Stu Gear, but imitation is the highest form of flattery. Intel at bearindependent.com is how you send your intel to the dance monkeys. If you don't feed the dance monkeys your intel, they will die. And if the dance monkeys die, there's no report. If there's no report, the hell are we going to talk about? So intel at bearindependent.com, as well as please your silver linings. Need to know all the good stuff that's going on out there in the world with the Bear Nation. As always, patreon.com. Just search for Bear Independent. You will find us there. It's the logo that looks like that right there. That's the one you want. Okay? That's how you find this report. GrindstoneMinistries.com fall fundraiser. Do you like human trafficking? Me either. Do you think kids should be sold for sex? I agree. That's a bad deal. You got $5? Cool. You want to win $3,000 or more worth of tactical gear? GrindstoneMinistries.com fall fundraiser. We love you. Bless you. Let's do the threat matrix. We all gonna die Wednesday. Shout out to the dance monkeys and the head dance monkey in charge, which is really a big silverback gorilla, but you know we don't discriminate. There's laws against that. You can't do it. Can't do it. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all dance monkeys are created equal and endowed by Bear with the requirement to form good rapport. I don't know, whatever. Food scarcity. The first cyclic wave of unemployment from March and April will be ending as another round of layoffs is expected. Talked about this yesterday a little bit, creating a double surge of demand on food pantries and similar initiatives over the next few months. If you're looking for a food pantry to love on, lifesource.org. Those are our friends. They're awesome. We love them. Canadian Patriot. Yeah, you know the thing. Freedom Meow. So here's the deal. Food scarcity is a real thing. It's one of the things we talk about weekly. You should be stacking food to the rafters. Yes, even now. Bear, it's expensive. If you buy another rifle or one more Guga for your pistol, I got the Flex PDR Defender thing with the folding stock for my pistol, and it does this and that, and it holds an extra mag up for... Do you have food, homie? I say this in love. Do you have food? And if the answer is no, sell all of that dumb shit and buy food. You can't eat your Flex Defender PDF thing. Okay? Well, the third point of contact helps me hold the gun so that I can food. You know what helps you hold the gun? Not wasting away and starving to death. Battle over coronavirus relief intensifies ahead of U.S. election. Why does that matter? Because if there's at least some fluff in the system, people will still be able to afford food. The chance of fluff going away in the system is incredibly high. So let's look at this a little bit from OAN. Richard Cohen. 21 October today. The battle over a hefty new U.S. coronavirus aid bill was set to spill into Wednesday as the White House and Democrats try to strike a deal before 3 November presidential congressional elections, now with the encouragement of President Donald Trump. Plenty of hurdles remained, however, not the least of which was the overall price tag of a bill that could range in the $2.2 trillion range. The number of Democrats has been pushing for months. Reports that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell would resist fast action further muddy the outlook and potentially put him at odds with Trump. Nobody cares. Despite Trump's insistence that his fellow Republicans in Congress would fall in line behind a big bill, there were no signs yet that those lawmakers would go along with anything costing more than around $500 billion, a little less than a quarter of what the Democrats are asking for. Either way, if there's no fluff in the system, people aren't going to be able to afford food. And I do think, strategically, big picture, if the economy is going to hell in a handbasket, and I believe that it is, and I believe that the coronavirus has been the thing that's been used to facilitate that, as we've been talking about here for months and months and months, I think there is a bit of strategery in getting as much of that worthless fiat currency out there as you can. On the one hand, it actually debases the value of the dollar, which is good for they. On the other hand, it puts it into the hands of the people who need it so that they can hopefully not become casualties, okay? So they can buy the things that they need to weather the storm. So depending on which side of the coin you're on with that, it's either helping or hurting. It's both at the same time, actually, in my humble opinion. And then getting to food. Impossible Foods, 20 October, Reuters reporting from Hong Kong. The faux beef burgers will be sold in grocery stores in Hong Kong and Singapore starting Tuesday, the company said, as it vies to bolster its presence in Asia before entering the potentially lucrative mainland China market. Its Asian launch comes as the market maker of plant-based meat. That is, it's like Army intelligence, jumbo shrimp. Negative. There's no such thing as plant-based meat. The maker of faux meat said it was still awaiting approval from the Chinese regulators. Its key ingredient, hemi, made from genetically modified yeast, requires approval in China. Yummy. I love genetically modified yeast. That's delicious. Quote, we are optimistic it could happen the next year or even in the next several months. Here's the thing, as food scarcity continues, as literally food becomes, the distribution and production of food becomes regulated, and this is something that Christian and Ice Age Farmer talks about a lot, you're going to see more and more alternatives to food, real food, like what's in my front yard right now. So, pay attention to this. As food scarcity happens, more and more things that aren't food are going to be marketed as food. And we should all know this, garbage in, garbage out. You don't feed the body appropriately, it doesn't work appropriately. Economic crisis. This week, the top economist at the World Bank said that the pandemic, quote, did not start as a financial crisis, but it is morphing into a major economic crisis with very serious financial consequences. According to her, half of poorer countries are experiencing debt distress or nearing it. Oh, kicked my tripod. We'll repeat that. The top economist at the World Bank, said the pandemic, quote, did not start as a financial crisis, but it is morphing into a major economic crisis with very serious financial consequences. Really? No way. Wow. You're smart, lady. We called this over half a year ago. It's not an accident that this is happening. This is happening because governments have chosen to shut down their entire economies to combat a virus with a 99-point-something% survivability rate. Not an accident. This is not an accident. This was manufactured. The situation that we find ourselves in right now was in no way a surprise. We're exactly where we're supposed to be from the they, okay? Coffee flavored recycled plant material, negative militant roots. Get that shenaniganry out of here. I will not accept. Spaceman left his sack of like fair trade, cruelty-free coffee beans here, and I was thinking like, no, I want cruelty in my coffee, and I don't want it to be fair. I want like hateful coffee. So I was thinking about making some of his coffee this morning, but then I didn't. I made some disaster coffee instead because my life is a disaster, but my coffee shouldn't be. Getting back to the syndemic here and the economic crisis, Christian at Ice Age Farmer was talking about this yesterday on Patreon, and how now the global they, shalom, the global they are essentially saying that the vaccine to deal with the syndemic is global control of food production, economic production. It's global socialism. Global socialism. No thanks. This is the Great Reset. I don't want the Great Reset. I like me. I like us. I like what we do. I like capitalism. I don't know if you noticed. I like capitalism. Drums, Glock signs, t-shirts, microphones, medical gear, clothing, food in my belly, coffee in my cup, Sharpies. I like capitalism, man. Huge fan of that. You reap what you sow. And without getting into the whole systemic this, that, and the third, raise your hand if you ever had the Small Business Administration deny your loan literally from the mouths of them because you were a single white male. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Told point blank, this is the best business plan we've ever seen. We'd love to fund this today, but unfortunately we can't because you're not a disenfranchised minority. Excuse me? What? The best business plan you've ever seen, but you can't fund it. So my new thing is I'm gonna go to the SBA and I'm gonna, this was years ago. This was 20 years ago when I was starting my first business. I said, look, I'm gonna do this with or without you. Just if I use your money, I'll get there quicker. And you know what I did? From 17 years old to 22, I built $1 million business. Blood, sweat, and tears, baby. So I'm gonna do this with or without you. I'm just gonna get there quicker if I use your money. Yeah, it is racist. You're exactly right. It's legitimately racist. Oh, the color of your skin and your gender are wrong. Sorry, can't give you money. Now with that, watch your disrespect. I don't know who you're talking to, but I seriously hope it's not me. Here's the deal. I'm gonna go to the SBA and I'm gonna tell them that I am a black female. And I'm going to file a loan for $500 million. Actually, they can't guarantee anything. I think it's up to 50 million they can guarantee. So we're going to, here's the deal. We're either gonna get $50 million for Baristan, or they're gonna say, sir, you're not a black female. And then I'm gonna sue them for $500 million because I identify today as an African-American female. Let's play these games. Every one of us should go do this. Let's play these games. I'm either gonna get $50 million or $500 million. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Back to economic crisis. This is the Great Reset. This is part of why it's so important that if you can, especially in the next couple of weeks, come out here, my people. Get away from the cities, because it's not just the roving bands who were going to be beating people to death for the last can of lima beans, right? It's the actual economic pressures that could be coming. There's a strong chance that we lead into some type of socialism or more socialism than we already have as a capitalist nation here. If that happens, the higher your population density, the more likely you will be acted upon rather than have the room to maneuver and act. So population density, yet again. The economy is not, the long-term outlook for the economy is not great. We just reported yesterday that last quarter's numbers are up almost 3x what they were expecting. Rather than 0.6% growth, 1.7% growth, which is awesome. That's awesome. But I don't think the big they have in mind the idea that President Trump is going to win. And if they do, they're just going to spend the next 4 years destroying everything that he's trying to do anyway. And again, to be completely clear, I'm not elevating President Trump to king status, all right? Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, is called no man master but your Father in heaven. And there's a lot of, oh, by the way, if you're looking for truth, there's some. There are a lot of channels that are perhaps similar to this that elevate the status of the president to damn near godhood. And that's idolatry. And I'm not engaged in that at all. He is a man. And whether or not you believe that he has a certain ordination as leader of the United States of America, that's between you and your creator. He is a man. Okay? That being said, I don't believe that he is the man that they wanted in the position that he is in, okay? So they're not going to make it any easier if he does win. And if he doesn't, boom. I mean, insta-socialism. Have you seen Joe Biden, right? Okay. However, let's look at some of the economic news, just the headlines over at OAN. Where's the floor? Investors left guessing as U.S.-Europe money market rates sink. Essentially, how low can they go? Futures edge higher with focus on stimulus talks. There's that influx of funny money. Bank of England's Ramsden sees no case for negative rates now. Negative rates now. However, give it time. China's 2020 auto production and sales could return to 2019 levels, says a government official. Don't believe you at all. Oil prices slip as U.S. inventory build stokes fear of supply glut. What's the U.S. dollar predicated on? Oil, military power, and our belief that it has some value. Two of those three things are waning as we speak. The third remains to be seen, and yes, I'm talking about military power, and I do believe we have the best military on the face of the earth. I just don't know if we can face all of the potential threats at the same time, which is part of total war, which China has been practicing for a long time. China to balance stable growth and risk prevention, says their central bank. To balance stable growth and risk prevention, which means they're not throwing money around anymore. Factbox, Lebanon's spiraling economic crisis. Yay, I love spiraling economic crises. Hopes for U.S. stimulus breakthrough push dollar to lowest in more than 6 weeks. The value of your dollar is the lowest now that it has been in the last 6 weeks. Remember that we've lost at least 10% of our purchasing power since the coronavirus pandemic hit. At least 10%. Meep, what's up, Ranger Girl? And China debt crackdown. Regulators asking property developers for more details than expected. Again, they're tightening up their money. Why? Resources. Resources. Civil unrest. Civil unrest is ongoing in Portland and Milwaukee, and 26 people were arrested while protesting the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett in Washington, D.C. Reports of civil unrest have gone very quiet compared to earlier this year. This is true. I think everybody, this is the calm before the storm. We reported yesterday on the Protect the Results Coalition, a national coalition that is literally amassing stormtroopers to take to the streets in the event that Donald Trump loses the election and does not cede victory to Biden-Harris. You think that they're just going to stay home if he wins it outright? No, they're already undermining these election results. Hasn't even happened yet, and they're already undermining the election results. And we have been saying, many people have been saying for a long time, that we've got to have a landslide for Trump in order for the election results to be legitimate. But I have a feeling that even if we have a landslide, they're going to say, well, yeah, see how much the Republicans manipulated the vote? There's no way that many people voted for Donald Trump. Boom, violence. Already orchestrated, highly funded, highly trained. We know Antifa is training in Syria. I say highly trained. Certain personnel within their organizations are highly trained. A lot of these people are punks, but there's enough highly trained leadership to steward those punks into an actual fighting force. And if you don't believe me, how do 10 men take over a country? It's not the 10 men. It's the 10 men that know what they know, who go in and train 10 more, who then train 100, who train 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1,000,000, 10 million. Force multiplication, okay? It's a known strategy. It's a large part of the job description of American Special Forces. So, make no mistake, Antifa is doing that. We started with a bunch of pink-haired, pseudo-trans, lesbian, questioning, plus-sign people in very liberal parts of the country who were really upset and were going to set some things on fire. And now we have literal trained militants, okay? Yes, Sean M. What can I do for you, Sean M? Everybody pause the show. What's up, Sean? Bear, ... I'm here, homie. What are we doing? What brand of Mylar bags are the best for 5-gallon buckets? Sean, buddy, I get mine from uline.com. I don't care about the brand. I don't care. The letter U. Uniform, Lima, Indio, November. India, November, Echo. Uline.com. Don't banhammer Sean. Simmer down, Jeff Pratt. Everybody's going to get the pee-pee schwacked. All right. So, yeah, civil unrest. It's something that we should be planning for. I mean, dude just got punched in the face at, where's that article? Authorities arrest one in connection with violent attack on San Francisco free speech rally organizer, accused of mayhem and more. Authorities arrested a man in connection with an assault on a speaker at San Francisco's free speech rally that took place on Saturday. A suspect punched the free speech rally organizer in the face, knocking out at least 2 of his teeth. Yay! That's so, brotherly loving and all of that. Yes, too harsh, Jeff. Too harsh. Simmer down. War. Whiskey Alpha Romeo. During a visit to a military base, President Xi Jinping urged Chinese troops to maintain a state of high alert and put all their minds and energy on preparing for war. That's cool. And Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian has demanded the U.S. And by the way, if you're unsure how to pronounce these Chinese names, you just say them with lots of ow and e, and you say it quickly, and then it at least sounds like you know what you're talking about. Zhao Lijian has demanded the U.S. sever military ties with Taipei and not go through with the planned arms deal. I know nothing about speaking Chinese. Zhao Lijian, there we go. We talked about this yesterday. We'll be talking about this more as we go forward. What does war with Russia look like? What does war with China look like? We've talked about the U.S. Marine Corps inter-something forces. I'm thinking intercostal, but that's the space in between your ribs, because we've been doing a lot of training lately. Whatever. Literal forces. There we go. Design shallow water. Marine Corps. Anyway, I think if we have President Biden, we're going to war with Russia. I think if we have President Trump, we're going to war with China. It's just a matter of time. And I think that the big they are using the military might of the United States to beat one of the other two down so that the third can rise to the top as the new world superpower. Russia wants us to go to war with China because Russia would like to land on top. China wants us to go to war with Russia because China would like us to land on top. They both have their key players. They've both been trying to influence our elections. They're both interested in us taking a fall and not having the American Empire 2.0. So I think that in the big scheme of things, that's what's going on there. It's the only framework that thus far I've been able to wrap my mind around that allows for all of the different intricacies of relations between the United States, China, and Russia. Of course there's a power struggle there, of course. But I think one of these three is going to be ordained the new world superpower within the next decade. Could be within the next week, but within the next decade. And everybody's vying for the spot at the top. Coupled with the big they that are down here pulling the puppet strings, making everybody dance. What does that mean for us, though? War's a game of resources. We talk about this all the time. War's a game of resources. Land, food, ammunition, sanitation. I mean, just soap, bleach, things like that. Steel, commodities, fuel. Oh my gosh, fuel. War is a game of resources. If everybody else in the world is literally stockpiling resources in every square foot of warehouse space that they have, what do you think you should be doing? Trading lives for real estate. Amen, Yankee Watchdog. What do you think you should be doing? Because sitting around watching Netflix or sitting around watching Bear rather than going to do the things is unacceptable at this point in the game. I don't care who you are, where you are, what you do for a living, what your level of physicality is, what your level of education is, what your income is. I don't care. Every one of you within the sound of my voice can be doing something to be better prepared tomorrow than you are today. And you should be. This is the most apocalypse-y my life has ever been. Our lives have ever been. If you are not taking this seriously, I mean like deadly seriously at this point, you're just playing. And that's fine. If you're just playing, great. This might not be the place for you if you're just playing. We're not. We're not just playing. We are deadly serious about these things as far as taking this actionable intel and applying it to our lives. There's a whole lot that goes on this side of the camera that y'all never see, that our asses are in gear. Our asses are in gear. And I cannot, Biddy Boo, bless you, sister, I cannot push you harder to get your asses in gear. And hopefully, although hope is not a strategy, but hopefully, a year from now, everybody's going, I hate that Bear guy. I bought $4,000 worth of food because of that a-hole. Good. You're still here to complain. You're welcome. I canceled my cruise to Alaska. Sorry, Billy. Whatever, dude. You're still here to complain. I want to be wrong. I have said this over and over and over again. I want to be wrong. Fortunately, I don't think that I am. And I actually missed the days when I was the crazy prepper guy. I don't like this whole borderline prophet thing. Not a fan, to be frank. I want to go back to being the crazy dude that's stacking food and forming meaningful relationships with people and practicing with his hardware and growing food up out of the ground and doing the things. I don't want to be the crazy guy. I'm sorry, I don't want to be right. I want to be the crazy guy. However, I don't think I am anymore. If 2020 has proved anything, it's that life is very unpredictable. So if you're still playing, stop. Start taking it seriously. I just want my country back. You're not going to get it back. We will have something new. Hopefully the something new that we have is closer to the founding documents of this country, what the founders intended. But again, hope is not a strategy. We're not going back. History does not go back. It might repeat itself, but it doesn't go back. Okay? We will get something new. Wrap your brain around that. The goal for me is to make whatever comes next be as edifying and glorifying in the Most High as possible, and to be as in line with our founding documents as possible. Couple those two things together, heart set, mindset, skill set, blood, sweat, and tears to go do the things that matter on the micro. Because on the macro, big picture, it's gonna be a shit show. Okay? And I know there's kids here at the channel, and I apologize, parents, but this is the way I communicate sometimes, as you are aware. It is not gonna be good on the macro. The world is in decline on the macro, so you need to short circuit that, and on the micro, your sphere of influence, your circles, you need to be building, you need to be growing, you need to be spinning up whatever it is, community, agriculture, security, communications, sanitation, water storage, medical, all that stuff now. You need to be in growth and expansion now, because everything else is in death and decline. You need to short circuit that. There is something new coming. We are not going backwards. The world doesn't go backwards. We're going forwards. And you need to get as good as you can on the micro with your creator and with your founders. Put those things together, onboard that type of life for you so that you can be the strength small, so that then you can operate from here and write at large. One of the major problems, again, getting back to idolatry that we have with this country, is that everybody wants the president to do all the things for him. He'll make the country great. No, asshole, you make the country great. There's 340 million people here, and you want one guy to be responsible for making the country great again? That's ridiculous. No, that's our job. It might be his slogan, but it's our job to make the country great again. So start. So do it. Make it great again, where you are. With what you can affect, do that. And then, if we all do that enough, then it percolates from the bottom up. It does not. Top-down leadership for this nation doesn't work. That's why a small federal government was writ by our founders in the first place. It's bottom-up, grassroots, baby. You want to make America great again, it starts with you. It doesn't start with the guy in the Oval Office. And so quit elevating men to the position of kings. This country doesn't have kings. We never wanted kings. We fought wars because of kings. Call no man master but your Father in heaven. So, but something new is coming. Disinformation. The biased and extreme censoring from Twitter and Facebook is now gaining official attention, as we all know. Twitter's CEO may soon be issued subpoenas to explain to the Senate Judiciary Committee its unprecedented speech blackout against at least one New York Post story containing unfavorable information about the Joe Biden campaign. While censoring that story, the platform has allowed state media from China and Iran critical of the United States presidential election. The RNC, per the Blaze, has filed a complaint against Twitter, accusing the company of making in-kind contributions to Biden's campaign. Republican National Committee has filed a Federal Elections Commission complaint against Twitter, accusing the social media company of making an illegal corporate in-kind political contribution to Joe Biden's campaign, according to Fox News. The RNC is basing the FEC complaint on Twitter's censorship of the New York Post article that made accusations about Hunter Biden's overseas business deals. The 4-page formal complaint which was filed on Thursday, accuses Twitter of using its corporate resources to provide active support for Joe Biden's campaign in violation of federal law. The GOP group alleges that Twitter has taken unprecedented actions to suppress the articles from being shared on its platform. Correct. Believe it. And then, of course, you've got President Trump on 60 Minutes interview with Leslie Stahl. Didn't go well. President Donald Trump reportedly cut short a sit-down interview with CBS News correspondent Leslie Stahl on Tuesday, arguing afterward on Twitter that the interview for the show 60 Minutes was fake and biased. The president also threatened to release the footage himself before it is scheduled to air Sunday, along with Norah O'Donnell's interview with Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden and his running mate, Senator Kamala Harris. CBS News reported that the president's cut short interview, noting that Trump campaign advisor Jason Miller disputed reporting that the interview had ended abruptly. So there's a lot of he said, she said bullcrap in here, and then a bunch of tweets. When did tweets become news? I hate this. And then this person tweeted, I don't care. I don't care about Twitter. I hate Twitter. It's not news. However, the point here is that disinformation. President Trump did not like the way that this interview was going, and he is threatening to release his own footage of the interview unedited. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful idea. Now, coffee time. Hydrate. Pinkies up, boys. Pinkies up. That sip was for you, Beard. Wake up, Beard. So, let's say you're a super ultra high speed tactical guy or girl, and you got a Baja truck, or you got a boat, or a helicopter, or a submarine. I'm not kidding. All of these things. You have all these things. You work in wet environments, sandy environments, dusty environments. You need a blowout kit that can survive all of that, because you're tired of buying blowout kits that all the contents get destroyed about every 3 months, and they're expensive, okay? Enter the Bear Fact. This one here is part of the crash kit. You can get the crash kit and or the smash kit, both of which are for vehicular operations, both of which come in Pelican cases, a Pelican 1400 case or a Pelican 1500 case, loaded with everything you need literally for crashes, designed in conjunction with professional Baja racers. What's up, Devin? And then this is the kit that is vehicle mounted, where the driver and a driver can access it. You get these in whatever color you want. This one's in red. Some cool points about this. This has tabs on the back, and it's also available with molly as well as tabs, so you can lash this to whatever you want to lash it to. It has a stiffener in the back of it, so you can take the internal insert out and put screws through the back of this into whatever you want. The bulkhead, the back seat of the driver, the whatever. Screw it to the, lash it to the side of your helicopter, whatever. It has a stiffener in there. Then, of course, it's your standard Bear Fact. Pop it open. Got your combat gauze on top. Dust and waterproof right there. This one here, pull it out, pop it open. What's different about this kit? Everything that can get wet, shouldn't get wet, has been vacuum sealed and pre-torn tabs, ready to come apart. So it can't get wet. Look at that. Look how compact that is as well. If it gets wet, it doesn't destroy it. If it gets dusty, it doesn't destroy it. And you got your shears right here if you got to get into this stuff in a hurry. So in the back, you've got your stack, hyphen chest seals, 2 5x9s, and a nasal pharyngeal airway, as well as your shears. And then down here in the bottom, what do you got down here? This is your quick clot, your tape, your compressed gauze, your rolled gauze, your Mylar blanket, all the things. Your safety instructions, 2x2s, 4x4s, 5x9s, all right here. vacuum sealed, waterproof, weatherproof, dust-proof, ready to go, all inside of this kit. Purpose-built for sandy, dusty, extreme, wet environments so that you don't have to throw your kit away every 6 months. In addition to that, you've got your Gen 7 cat tourniquet, duct tape, gloves, decompression needle, and your 6-inch North American Rescue emergency trauma dressing. So this is the kit that comes with the smash kit and the crash kit, and in addition to those, or in addition to this, you have a Pelican case as well. Let me see. Hold on, Bear Nation. Hold on. Hold on. Boom. So, this is the crash kit, okay? It's got all the things in it. This is the smash kit. They're still freaking awesome. Let's start with a cervical collar, because you just got in a wreck, right? This is the little one. Need some chest seals, need a nasal airway, decompression needle. How about some SWAT tees? How about some emergency trauma bandages? How about some wound closures, 2x2s, 4x4s, 5x9s, oval eye pads, and eye shields, Mylar blankets, tape, triangle bandages, smelling salts. Here is a Sam splint. We have burn dressings in here. We have eye wash in here. This is literally designed for working on casualties related to high-speed wrecks, but it also is a great boat kit. It is a great helicopter kit. No, I'm not kidding. Airplane kit. It's waterproof. It's designed for treating all the injuries that come from high-speed impacts. And I didn't put the cervical collar in there right. There we go. And it's in a Pelican case, a real Pelican case. So that's the Pelican 1400, the smash kit, and then you've got the crash kit. This one has all of our cool stickers on it as well. By the way, the tactical chicken patch is now in stock. The patch is now in stock at the store. And PHL knife and tool, pooping unicorn sticker. Yeah, dance monkey sticker, bear sticker, Blaze Defense Systems, another bear sticker. Oh, what is that? Is that a custom Angry American sticker right there? Holy cow. And so this comes together. Boom. That is the crash kit. Okay? One of these, one of these. Or this, boom, comes together. One of these, one of these. I'm gonna go put these up. All right, infomercial time is over. But anyway, yeah, you can get the Bare Fact, Bare Minimum. All of our other kits are available at the store, bearindependent.com. Every single kit, all the training events, and every single piece of medical gear at the website can be paid for with your health savings account and your flexible spending account. All of it, if it's medical gear or training, can all be paid for with your HSA or your FSA. And you can get 10% off with promo code BEARNATION. And again, my wife wanted me to tell you that the chicken patch is in the store. So you've been told. You're welcome, wife. Moving right along. Current issues. 21 October 2020. After the signing of an executive order in May, the U.S. can cancel or deny student visas if someone is found to be connected to China's military. I think that's a good idea. Due to the Justice Department prosecuting some scholars for such affiliations, China's government has warned the U.S. that it may detain Americans, effectively equating to retaliation by coercively banning U.S. citizens from returning home. Leslie, it's in the store, lady. The State Department has issued a warning against traveling to China, quote, due to COVID-19 and risk due to arbitrary enforcement of local laws. For those still in China, they often don't know about the exit ban until they try to leave. HSA card. Yeah, you can use your HSA for everything at the store. All the medical gear at the store. But like, don't put like a bare fac and a t-shirt on the same order, because your HSA will be like, nope, t-shirts aren't medical equipment. You got to put all your medical equipment on one order, execute that order, and then if you want a t-shirt, go back and get that too, or whatever. Shalom, Philly Flash 77. The World Health Organization has reversed its position again and is now calling for an end to lockdowns. Dr. Navarro has told world leaders to stop using lockdowns as a primary method of control for the virus because of the exacerbation of poverty and the potential for a doubling of world poverty and child malnutrition within the next year. Poverty, economic crisis, malnutrition, food shortage. How many times must we say this? Do the things. Corn-fed, do the things. Shalom. Just picking on you because I saw your name there. But do it anyway. To the point of 1 year. Good job, William. The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, has issued a revised forecast that the global economy would contract by about 4.4% this year. An international group of health experts have created a petition, the Great Barrington Declaration, which claims that the lockdowns were causing irreparable damage to both physical and mental health, affecting public health in both the short term and the long term. I need more of this. You all talk quietly amongst yourselves. Give me 30 seconds. Commercial break. Go. You know what I want to be when I grow up? Me. From curfews in France to strict mask mandates in Switzerland to toilet paper hoarding in Austria, it seems this advice has yet to hit home. Wales has instituted a 14-day lockdown for non-essential workers to proactively dampen the swell of another wave of COVID-19, and Ireland is issuing some of the most severe restrictions in Europe, including a 5-kilometer travel limit and closures of non-essential shops. The non-essential stuff drives me effing crazy, because who the hell gets to say that it is not essential for me to feed my family? We've talked about this months and months and months ago. No man will tell me that I cannot feed my family. 1 Timothy 5 verse 8, he who does not work has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. I have zero intention of being worse than an infidel. Thank you very much. Researchers in a study published in The Lancet, you know those people, posited that immunity passports are a potentially valuable and ethical tool. If immunity passports certify that individuals can move freely around and interact for business or leisure without increasing the risk of transmission, we might wish to certify only those who are unlikely to transmit the virus. Meaning that once you have an immunity passport, that they have deemed that you're okay to move about. Now with their permission, you can move about. Negative. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And by the way, I have a couple of transportation passports right here. I have credentials. They give me the same footing as the American Red Cross and the same authority as the Department of Homeland Security. And I have firepower. I will go where I freaking feel like it. Thank you very much. Yeah. The idea of immunity, or alternatively vaccines, as a prerequisite to freedom has been posed alarmingly often this year. And Moderna's vaccine may be cleared for emergency use this December. In January, the Imperial College of London will begin a trial that will intentionally infect study subjects with the virus to test the efficacy of a vaccine in development. 4 of China's vaccines have reportedly entered phase 3 trials. Y'all know me, I'm not doing it. Y'all know me, I'm not doing it. There's 184 countries currently signed up for the vaccine. World Health Organization Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said on Monday that 184 countries have now joined the COVAX facility, which aims to finance COVID-19 vaccines to be distributed fairly to both rich and poor countries. Equitably sharing vaccines, he says in a quote, is the fastest way to safeguard high-risk communities, stabilize, by the way, why do we spell stabilize with an S? Because it's international. Stabilize, L-I-S-E, health systems and drive a truly global economic recovery, end quote. Tedros told a news briefing in Geneva. Ecuador and Uruguay were the most recent countries to join, he said. Well, that's fabulous, Tedros. You definitely look reptilian, dude. You got, yeah, for sure. And Poland is going through this same nonsense right now. Literally, the World Health Organization is again saying, yo, end the lockdowns. And Poland's like, nah, we don't know if we're gonna. Poland is considering new restrictions. This is from OAN, 21 October today, including moving some primary students to distance learning after its total of coronavirus infections doubled in less than 3 weeks. Wednesday, it announced a new daily record of over 10,000 cases, taking its overall total past 200,000. However, from a quote from Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki, or some crap like that, let's set aside this weird team of deniers and those who want a total lockdown of the economy. Let's take the middle way. It's the safest. It depends on how you define middle, but that kind of resonates with me. As of Wednesday, COVID-19 patients occupied 9,439 hospital beds, up 5% in one day, and we're using 757 ventilators. It said about 17,000 beds were available in all for COVID-19 patients. Good luck, Poland. I hope that Russia doesn't attack you. We need you in the coalition. Or maybe we could just slowly destroy you economically like the rest of the freaking planet. And with that, adventurefrontier.com, when we need armor, when we need individual first aid kits, and when we need fluffy bunnies, where do we go? We go to adventurefrontier.com. Why? Because we love them and they're our brothers. Why? Because they give us good deals, because you can use promo code BEARNATION for $10 off your armor. If you need the level 3, the level 3 plus, the level 4, the multi-hit ceramic, the steel plates, the anti-spall coating, the single curve, the triple curve, the trauma pads, the mop Cs, the ranger carriers, the blah, 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 blah. I got all that stuff at adventurefrontier.com. Plus, NWA Prepper, the Nude Wrestling Association. Rock, love you back. The Nude Wrestling Association. That's correct. If you've ever thought, I want to wear my plate carrier and nothing but my plate carrier in a kiddie pool filled with Jell-O, NWA Prepper is your guy, man. Nude Wrestling Association, he's all over it. He is just tremendous. Believe it. Believe it. AdventureFrontier.com. You need body armor? They got it there. You need IFAKs? They got them there, including the best in the business. That's right, the Bear Fact and the Bare Minimum. And of course, get your Fluffy Bunny stickers and your Fluffy Bunny patches. Stop by, say hello, tell them Bear sent you. Promo code BEARNATION. Grindstone Ministries fall fundraiser. If you want to be a tactical badass and get a whole bunch of gear, potentially for a $5 donation, you can check out the fall fundraiser at grindstoneministries.com. It's over $3,000 worth of gear. There's a video there on the website that shows you what all is involved in the raffle, but body armor, check. Ballistic helmet, check. Custom buffalo handled knife, check. Thousands of dollars worth of camo gear, check. Swag bag from Sanctified Supply Co., check. Hero soap, check. Which, by the way, Hero soap has a whole new, they got a new Hero soap box out. And if you're don't like bar soap, you like, the pumpy soap in the bottle thing, they got that stuff too. So you can go check out Hero soap. Use promo code BEAR or promo code HILLBILLY, whatever you prefer. Bear goes to me, Hillbilly goes to the Hillbilly Homesteader 1776, whom I've never met before, but he is a member of the Bear Nation, so we're just trying to help him out. And of course, say what's up to Lucas at Hero Soap Company. So they got some Hero Soap in there. You got Disaster Coffee in there. You got stuff from us at Bear Independent. You've got a blowout kit. You've got a 3-day assault pack that's in there. You got all kinds of stuff for $5. $5. And we use that $5 bill or more. You can buy as many tickets as you would like, as many chances to enter the raffle as you like. The more times you buy a ticket, the higher likelihood of having your name drawn. We use that money to assist Grindstone Ministries in the rescuing and rehabilitation of victims of human trafficking and sex crimes. So that is our explicit focus in 2021. And I am ordering my life right now, last quarter 2020, to be able to do pretty much that in 2021. And so we're fundraising now so that we can hit the ground running in 2021. So if you'd like to support us in that, you can get a raffle ticket for the fall fundraiser at Grindstone Ministries, and there's a donate button there as well. If you'd like to just donate, you can. We do have a handful of people who like to send us checks, so if you'd like to send us a check, and it is a tax-deductible donation, you can send, just email admin at Bear Independent, admin at Bear Independent, BARENDUPHPANDTAZLMNOPQIA plus apostrophe question mark. That's how you spell Bear Independent. And Bear Independent, admin at Bear Independent, we'll give you a mailing address if you'd like to send a check in. And bless y'all and thank y'all for supporting Grindstone Ministries. We have no corporate sponsors. Grindstone is us and y'all. That's it. Grassroots funded, baby. And we do massive things on behalf of the kingdom. We are breaking generational curses. We are unbreaking people. I love it. And we're providing a biblical covering for orphans that the enemy has used as product. Not a fan. I am a fan of good coffee, though, which is why I drink Disaster Coffee. This is the Tsunami blend. Unfortunately, it's almost empty, but I'll probably make it through the rest of the week. Single origin Nicaraguan. I'll tell you what, man, back in the day, single origin Nicaraguan meant something completely different to me. Disastercoffee.com. Your life might be a disaster, but your coffee doesn't need to be, okay? They're phenomenal people, disastercoffee.com. Amendment, the #1 preparedness.com. They are a huge supporter of this show, and they're awesome folks. Been a huge supporter of the show for a long time. The best camo gear for preparedness that I'm aware of, okay? So if you need camo gear, Amendment, the #1 preparedness.com. And then, of course, Sanctified Supply Co., the unofficial uniform of the Bear Nation, the Stay Humble and Kind shirt, sanctifiedsupplyco.com. And with that, silver linings. Here in northern Vermont, I grew 51 pounds of potatoes, 14 quarts worth of pole beans, some peppers and lettuce, all in a mere 140 square feet of garden. Thanks for the inspiration. You're welcome. Thank you for doing it. Another viewer says, I just purchased my first canner. I was convicted by the father to start canning meat, and I will do so once it arrives. Gathering supplies now. Another viewer says, hens raised from chicks by one couple have started laying their goodies. Hallelujah. Another viewer says, when stimulus checks came out, we bought a tiller. To date, we have put up 100-ish pints of beans, nearly as many tomatoes, 2 huge boxes of potatoes, a bushel of peaches, and have 5 rows of beans still producing. Fall garden just went in. Chickens are now at laying age. With food stores and our garden producing, we are good. Also, working on coming out of her my people to the eastern Tennessee area. We have been convicted to move from Babylon to a homestead, but are doing the things now to be ready. Life is what you make it. Amen. Amen. If you're trying to find some people to make a life with, you can perhaps find them at the forum at bearindependent.com. It's free. It costs you nothing. Just get on there, talk to people, date each other, fall in love, do hard things together, build context so that you can survive Tuesday, not just doomsday, because a life should be worth living and you should spend your life in a worthy cause, not cowering in fear somewhere. Lastly, if you're listening to us on the podcast, we appreciate y'all. If you could do the rate and review, 5 stars, all that crap, that helps us greatly in the algorithm. And yes, there is a podcast, the Bear Independent Podcast. Appreciate y'all greatly, Bear Nation. Let's talk to the Father. Good morning, Father Yah. Father, thank you for being sovereign. Father, thank you for the covering of blood of Messiah. Thank you for erasing transgressions and using broken people, and for unbreaking people. Father, and for breaking generational curses, for breaking cycles, and for destroying us so that you can remake us. I don't know what's coming on the macro, Father. I don't know if you're destroying us so that you can remake us or not. But I do know on the micro, you are very good at destroying us so that you can remake us. So, Father, thank you for taking the time to reprove and instruct us, to bring us closer to being the thing that you designed us to be in the first place. Father, thank you for communicating with us, for speaking to us in ways that we can understand. And I pray that you would continue to, even as things become more chaotic here on earth. Father Yah, if there is anything within me, or anything within the sound of my voice that is not of you, I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, and command it to flee. I pray that you would backstop us, that you would fill us up with your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, for wisdom and discernment, for strength, for power and authority, for love, for compassion, for understanding, for healing, and for peace that surpasses all understanding. Father, thank you for Yeshua Messiah. Thank you for making a way for your people to return to you. And thank you for the covering of blood and his atoning sacrifice. Father, I pray that you would continue to convict us, that you would utterly destroy us, so that you would put us back together to do your will, not our own. That you would use us to be your hands and feet. That the world would come to know you through us. That you would build testimony through us. And that we would see your mighty hand undeniably in action. Father, I lift all these people up to you. I lay them at your feet. And I ask you to use us to do your will. And I ask you to bless them. And I thank you that I get to do this. I ask all these things in Yeshua's name. Amen. Bless y'all. Go be the light, Bear Nation. Go make the Father smile. Spend your life in a worthy cause. So at the end of an age, you would hope to hear, "Well done, good and faithful servant."